And I don't think doctors should be the gatekeeper of nutritional information. I don't care if doctors know nutrition, because it should be reading, writing, arithmetic, and nutritional science taught in grade school. Because just think about how crazy this is. Like we want the people who go to their cardiologist to be told by the cardiologist to cut the salt out of their diet because they have heart disease. Well, if it was good to cut the salt out of the diet, it was good to cut the salt out of the diet 40 years ago before they had heart disease, not now after they got heart disease and they're so sick.
You've actually said that you believe that we can beat the war on cancer completely just by dealing with our diet, and that everything, that we've done is, your standards are way higher, Dr. Fuhrman, than the American Medical Association, et cetera. And a lot of doctors won't ask a lot of their patients because they don't trust that their patients will be able to follow through, so they'll ask for less. You're asking for
more, yeah.
more.
All of it.
So you believe that we could win the war on cancer. We could eliminate heart disease, diabetes, right?
Yes, I have to define that more specifically. I'm not saying every cancer would never occur, because obviously, let's just say you ate unhealthy the first 60 years of your life, and then you switch to a healthy anti-cancer diet. Mm-hmm. Your risk of cancer goes down dramatically every year. You're off cigarettes. You get off cigarettes 20 years, your risk of lung cancer goes down by 90%. But you really had to have never smoked for it to be zero. You know what I mean? And I don't think doctors should be the gatekeeper of nutritional information. I don't care if doctors know nutrition, because it should be reading, writing, arithmetic, and nutritional science taught in grade school. Because just think about how crazy this is. Like we want the people who go to their cardiologist to be told by the cardiologist to cut the salt out of their diet because they have heart disease. Well, if it was good to cut the salt out of the diet, it was good to cut the salt out of the diet 40 years ago before they had heart disease, not now after they got heart disease and they're so sick. We don't tell a person to quit smoking after they go to their pulmonologist and they find out they have lung cancer. Oh, you better quit smoking now, you have lung cancer. Mm-hmm. So the real power to lower cancer rates has to be if the whole population adopted it at all ages, not just if elderly people adopted it. But the other point, since there's a huge contribution of cancer causation for what we eat in the first half of our life, that's why the nutritarian diet can't be a moderate intervention. It has to be true nutritional excellence, and I want people to go 100% to nutritional excellence so the body has the ability to reverse DNA defects and methylation defects and DNA breakages and remove. And I see dramatic effects. And we have tons of examples of people that have recovered from early stage cancers even. And people, and even people who recovered from later stage cancers and done well. Like, for example, some people who've, I have a woman, for example, Pam, in my medical practice about 18 years ago, who had metastatic ovarian cancer that went to her lung, and I had 6 fluids of fluid in her lung. And now this is 18 years later, and she's in great health, thriving, And she was only given 6 months to live. There are not many cases of people even going through chemo living that long after advanced metastatic ovarian cancer. I have lots of people like that. I'm sure nutrition has a tremendous role, but I'm not saying it's going to cause 100% wipe out all cancer. I'm saying win the war on cancer probably reduces cancer rates by 90%. But more than that, if we can go back to the whole population, all ages eating healthfully, we know that there are populations, for example, around the world from our historical records and tracking that have 1/50th the amount of breast cancer. I look at data from the 1960s even, we have some areas of the world that have 1/50th the amount of breast cancer compared to the America does, right? So, and when those populations are followed and they move to America, or they started adopting more modern lifestyles and diet styles, their rate of cancer skyrocketed. And this is not predominantly genetic, it's predominantly the lifestyle and the diet people are eating. But nevertheless, the breast cancer epidemic is not natural. We didn't see breast cancer 30,000 years ago. We have mummified remains, and we go back in history, and these are new phenomena in human history for this explosion of autoimmune disease and these type of autoimmune and cancer-related deaths. And it doesn't have to happen. Nutritional science gives us control of our health destiny. And I'm obviously an advocate for people making nutritarian, which just means super healthy eating. Make it delicious, make it enjoyable. It gives you more pleasure in life. It makes living life more fun. And you're not giving up taste and pleasure. Because I know what people are thinking. They're thinking, just shoot me right now, or I'd rather die than have to live on carrot sticks and lettuce the rest of my life. I'd rather die younger and eat for enjoyment, is what some people are thinking. And that's their that's their addictive self. These foods take over the brain, and they're completely irrational because they think that their diet tastes better than our diet does. The diet's going to kill them is tasting better, because that's what addiction is. You can't think of changing that, and you can't live without it, and you feel so bad if you try to stop it. But with the right information, people aren't, we're enjoying life just as much, the taste, the pleasure of food just as much, great recipes, without being addicted to those foods and having to have them.
Yeah, the taste buds really do change in a very short period of time.